Welcome back, everybody, to some more Grand Tactician, the Civil War. This will be our last episode before the next major patch that is supposed to drop in less than 24 hours. It's going to vastly improve the quality of the game, I think, and they're adding such patches about once per week. So I'm excited about the next one. It may not affect this campaign so much, but it will definitely affect any future campaigns. Now, in the meantime, we're doing a couple of things. Right now, I'm trying to build up some of my forces, particularly places like the Army of the Gulf, which is a place that I desperately need some more men. So we're going to add some more infantry brigades. These are all going to have to be draftees. You can see we've got 800,000 available in the draft pool right now. So an almost unlimited supply of manpower. I'm not going to use nearly that much of it, but we're certainly going to start putting some of it to use. So we're going to recruit a few units, and then we've got a new patron unit to get placed as well. So let's go ahead and at least get some brigades in here. Unfortunately, I don't really have the ability to make divisions or corps in that particular unit. I'm just going for places that'll get me those troops as quick as possible. So we're trying to stick to the west as much as I can. I know it's going to take some time regardless. So we've got 9,000 men that are going to be added to the Army of the Gulf. That'll dramatically increase their manpower. But let's go ahead and take a look now at the Army of the Potomac, because we've got a new patron unit to go ahead and add. I've also done a few things here. George McClellan now commands a cavalry division in McDowell's 1st Corps. It's going to take some time, for about 5 days for one unit, 19 days for the other. To get that cavalry in there. I've also consolidated some of the brigades in Sumner's 2nd Corps. Richardson's now going to be commanding the cavalry division there, and I sent the infantry divisions that he had into the other division. So there's now 2 divisions of infantry there. All right, so Jesse, this is your unit. It's under John Newton, and unfortunately, it won't let me put the proper I don't know what it's called, but it's that double S that has a particular symbol that was used like in the word for Prussia. So the Grosses Grenadier Regiment, some German boys from Pennsylvania, which is where you would expect the German boys to be from, with their black coats and their gray trousers. John Newton's going to be commanding that unit. He's a good commander. It's a solid guy to have in command of your unit. We've also created a new brigade under John Reynolds, that's going to be a part of Franklin's division. So we've consolidated down to 2 infantry divisions in McDowell's 1st Corps. I've also gone ahead and promoted George Meade to command of the 3rd Division of the 2nd Corps, which means Louis Blenker is out. Meade's a better commander than Blenker. So I really need to start thinking about that a little more, about who I can put in command of some of these units that would be a better commander than the ones I currently have. Some of these guys are decent. Like Charles Hamilton, you can see he's a very good commander. Hooker's okay. But if I see anybody who's a glaringly bad general, I've definitely got some better guys on the bench, so to speak, that I could put in command in some of these units. Silas Casey, he's famous, but he's not particularly good. So that might be a good place right there. Let's see who's available right now. Henry Halleck, William French, Henry Nagley. I'm going to look at some of the assigned guys, because there might be some lower ones that might actually be better. Someone like Ambrose Burnside, maybe not. We'll hold off on that for now. I'm doing well enough in the war that's not a huge issue, but if I ever get to the place where I'm struggling with combat or having a rough time with a particular unit, then that might be time to look at changes to be made. All right, the Army of the Mississippi is moving in to lay siege to Vicksburg. Going to be interesting to see how this all plays out. It's going to be John Pope who gets the honor of taking Vicksburg if it all works out. He's waiting for 9,000 reinforcements as well. But let the siege begin. Apparently it's 115 degrees right now in Mississippi. I don't know how often that happens. One of those little quirks that happens once the game has been played for a while, I guess. Well, there was nobody defending Vicksburg, so it just kind of fell, I guess. Let's go ahead and move a little further over here. We're definitely going to put a fort in Vicksburg. In fact, let's go ahead and start building that now. A basic fort, the first level fort, doesn't really take very long. I think like a day or two to build. But as you upgrade it, And as you try to make it stronger and more durable, obviously, I think it takes longer. There we go. We're actually going to put it across the river on that side. Disaster at Winthrop. Where's the Fort Winthrop garrison? Boston. What? Wait, the Rebs have taken Boston? All right, well, didn't see that coming. That's because he's got this crazy powerful navy. Whoa, that's the Army of Virginia and Jackson's Corps. Wow. All right. So I think that's what that's telling me is that the fact that I've been ignoring this huge buildup of the Rebel Navy for far too long, I guess that just, my idea was, well, let him do that, because I'm going to conquer everything with my army, and then it's not going to matter a whole lot. Well, apparently it does matter. So we've got to deal with that, and we've got to deal with it now. So we're going to put together a powerful squadron. We're going to have to start adding a bunch of new ships, and we're going to have to deal with this rebel navy once and for all, but we're also going to have to send up an army to deal with this invasion of Massachusetts that I was not expecting. Okay, so we're sending the North Atlantic blockading squadron 19 ships strong, and we're adding some more to that. They're going to come up here to Boston Harbor, and I'm sending General Ulysses S. Grant all the way from central Alabama up to deal with this threat in New England. We're going to let Grant deal with the Army of Virginia. It says 50,000 strong, but he does not have that many. That's just his main army, our headquarters, plus whatever Jackson's Corps has, which looks like only about 6,200 men. So we will deal with that threat, and we'll deal with it quickly. I've started building a bunch of ironclad frigates, which are really about the biggest ship you can build and probably the most powerful right now. And we're just going to sit tight in Virginia with Richmond and let him come to us. I don't think there's too much to worry about. I might go ahead and send a couple of these corps out to deal with some of these threats. So let's send Irvin McDowell's First Corps to hopefully wipe out the Army of East Tennessee. We'll send the 4th Corps, 14,000 strong, that's one of our elite units, down to take Petersburg. But we're going to keep everything on offensive stance, so if any one of those units gets attacked from somewhere, we should be able to go in and help them out. Well, now we return to Railroad Bridge for another battle. And this time it's the 1st Corps, which we haven't seen in action for quite a while, going up against the Army of East Tennessee. So we should have a pretty substantial advantage. In case you're wondering what units are a part of this, we've got the Carolean Guard under Daniel Tyler, 34th Pennsylvania, Andrew Smith. We've got a few other, including John Reynolds there. We've got Edward Ord with the 3rd Brigade, 2nd Brigade, Marson and Patrick, John Gibbons, 3rd Brigade. We've got Newton's brand new unit. These German boys are ready. The Grenadiers are ready for action. So we're moving into this place here, right on Old Church Road. I do have one of McClellan's cavalry units under Gouverneur Warren. The other one has not yet arrived. But we can see here, looks like the Confederates are moving in right here. So I'm going to move the cavalry up to Shady Grove Road just to kind of screen and see what's happening up there. And we're going to move in right along Beaver Dam Creek and hopefully build a defensive position here. All right, the Confederates have hit right where my cavalry is. Looks like we've got them bottled up on that road. So maybe what we ought to do here is we ought to move right up and surprise them. Let's go ahead and move McCall's division forward. We'll bring the artillery right behind them. Much like the strategy I used last time, where I try to hold them with the cavalry while we move in behind and around them. I'm going to do the same here with Franklin's division. I'll bring them in this way because I don't know what units he might still have back there. Let's see how Gouverneur Warren handles this. Sharp's carbines, 51 rounds of ammunition left, so that's not going to last a real long time. They could go through that in a matter of minutes. Alright, he's dropping back. Here it comes again, this time with 2 units of skirmishers. We're kind of lined up along this road, and I don't think that's working. There we go. And he's also sending forward a full brigade, it looks like. This is Warren's first combat, of course. These are draftees that just came into the service. I just need them to hold on long enough for my infantry to get in position. Alright, McCall, we're going to have to put this on the double time here, guys. I'm going to tell Franklin to go ahead and move up all the way to right here. Hang on as long as you can, Warren. How many rounds you got? 45. Losses starting to mount up a little bit. See how many men he's got total. I don't think he's got that many. He's got about 9,000 men. Obviously he hasn't suffered 2,700 wounded. Those are men that he's carried with him. But looking at the killed, you can get a much better idea of the casualties, and so far so good. Warren's about to get his first perk from combat. I think we'll go with the one where you get a perk for fighting dismounted. Come on, boys, get up there. They're not traveling on road, so it's taking a little bit longer for that division to get into position. There's the perk. Down to 39 rounds. Looks like he's broken Ledbetter. That's awesome. Alright, we have Marson and Patrick coming up right here. Ord, Gibbon, and Newton. That's another brand new unit. Oh, he's bringing up artillery now. This is going to be a problem. Plus he's charging into me. Come on, guys. We just got to hold a couple more minutes. Man, what is taking McCall so long? I know, he's going through the woods. We broke 2 units. Awesome. Yeah, we're up to... Casualties are starting to mount, though, and he's down to 34 rounds. Come on, boys. Yeah, they're going to start cracking here soon, I think. $330 losses. I know, Warren, it's a lot to ask. You're doing a great job so far. Let's look at the numbers in terms of killed. Oh yeah, 3-1. Excellent. Come on, Patrick, get up here. How about... What if we get some skirmishers? Long range. Actually, I should just tell McCall for his entire division to go long range and break off skirmishers. Warren's holding up an entire army by himself at the moment. Granted, it's an army of 9,000 men, but it is an army. They're about to get level 2 of Lightning Brigade, it looks like. Man, they've lost 500 men now. Alright, let's get Patrick's skirmishers moved up. So here comes our first contact with the infantry. Surprise, boys! Nicely done, Gouverneur Warren. Warren, he's one of the guys credited with saving the day at Gettysburg. You'll see his statue up on Little Round Top. If you've ever been to Gettysburg or if you've seen pictures, there's a statue of General Warren with his binoculars standing up on top of one of the rocks on Little Round Top, and it was he that was credited with recognizing the importance of Little Round Top and taking the initiative to get men moved up. Whether that's accurate or not, I mean, he's certainly one of the people responsible for that. He went on later in the war to command a corps and was actually relieved of duty by General Sheridan very late in the war, in the last weeks of the war, because of his performance at one of the battles. I want to say it was Five Forks, but I may be incorrect about that. All right. What are we waiting on back here? We got him surrounded now. So Warren, man, they lost 754 men, but they're stable. They're holding. These are draftees who have never been in combat before, and they pretty much single-handedly won that battle. That was fantastic work by Gouverneur Warren. We took out half the Confederate army there. Well, about a third, really. Nice job, boys. Warren better get commended for this fight. Well, that's really disappointing. Due to his battle honors, Brigadier General McCall has become famous and an inspiration for his men. McCall, it was his division, the infantry, who made first contact. But man, how you could give those battle honors to anybody but Warren is beyond me. I would love to see them add some kind of a mechanism by which you can override that, or you can choose someone of your own choosing at the end, because boy, that's an opportunity there where I would have gladly given that to Warren, but maybe we can reward him anyway. So it does look like Gouverneur Warren gained a certain level of fame from his actions there, but not a lot to show for it at the moment. Honestly, if it weren't for the fact that McClellan's got such great leadership and administration skill, I'd probably rather put Warren in command there. But I'm looking at this, really, other than McDowell having slightly better cunning, I feel like maybe I should be promoting McClellan to the Corps command, because he's got much better leadership and administration. I went ahead and did it. Put McClellan in command of the 1st Corps. William French is now taking command of McClellan's cavalry division, and he's still waiting 8 more days until he gets his 2nd Brigade of Cavalry. We do have Hill's Corps coming up with an additional 11,000 men. That's certainly a concern. We're probably going to want to have more troops over that direction, but right now we're still worried about trying to take Petersburg, and I don't know how long it's going to take Grant to get up to the northeast. All right, Army of the West in contact with the Army of the Southwest. We've been struggling to do anything with the Army of the West because it was just leaking men for some reason. Every time I'd put a new unit in that army, they would just immediately lose all their men. It seems like some kind of a glitch that hopefully will get repaired. But we do have, I think, enough men to make this fight happen now. Battle of Fayetteville, Arkansas, 6,500 Confederates. We should have around 7,000. All right, we should be able to do this. All right, looks like we're going to run into him right here. The Battle of Fayetteville, my artillery already got in position, and he just kind of showed up. Let's redirect Sheffield. Oh, he's still got 6-pounder guns. We really have neglected the Army of the Southwest because of those issues we had early on. Let's go ahead and bring this one cavalry unit we've got, ERS Canby. This is one of the few open areas on this battlefield. Right now it's just an artillery duel. These are only 6-pounders. "24th Missouri's first. Right behind them are the Oregon Volunteers. Double time, boys. All right, let's get Canby dismounted and fighting. All right, can we not go up there before we come back here? There we go. Oregon volunteers are getting into position now. He's got quite a few more units than I do. They're just all small. You can see how small all these various Confederate units are in this army. Let's make sure we have all our guns firing. We gotta get Ramger's artillery down here. Alright, I think we can speed up for a little while. Here they come. A lot of really small units on his side. So far, so good. Let's move the 24th Missouri up. Oregon Volunteers haven't lost a man yet. They're still putting a hurt on the Confederates. Lion demoralized. Lion was routed. Oh, that was my cavalry. Darn it. Didn't see that coming. Where is he? Canby withdrew, so that was my cavalry. That's helpful. Now we're outnumbered. It's all going to be about these two brigades now. 24th Missouri's got an upgrade perk available. Let's go Iron Discipline because we're going to need it. All right. So we were able to drive them off despite the fact that my cavalry withdrew. So about 3-1 casualties again. That's the good news. The bad news is I'm probably going to continue to leak manpower. So we're going to have to keep pouring troops into this army to keep it afloat. This is kind of cool, and I haven't noticed this before. Officers in high places, such as Army or Corps Command, will influence their subordinate commanders via training and orders. This influence will slowly modify the subordinate commander's personal attributes toward those of the commanding officer. Caution feeds caution, and so on. So if you have a Army commander, he's going to influence his Corps commanders down to the division, down to the brigade. So I didn't realize that. I didn't know that was an aspect of this. That makes sense. And that's something to think about when you're putting folks in command at various levels, because it's going to affect everything below them as well. So good to know that. Colonel MacArthur becomes a national hero on our side. So let's see where things are now. I believe that Grant is somewhere in northern Georgia at the moment. Yeah, he's right around Chattanooga. Hopefully he's going to get on a train and start making his way north by rail. I would think that even at this point, it doesn't look like, yeah, is there rail there? I think there is. So he's marching at the moment. Hopefully once he gets as far as Knoxville, he'll be able to take the rail all the way. But we're actually going to wrap it up right there. I know that was kind of a shorter episode, but I wanted to make sure and get something out to you today. A lot happened there. We're sending Grant to the New England area to deal with the fact that we've lost Providence, Rhode Island, and Boston to the rebels up there. We're going to start building up our Navy to deal with that threat. And we're going to probably send Don Carlos Buell on a march to the sea, and then have him work his way up through Charleston and everything. We've taken Vicksburg. We'll probably start sending Pope down from Vicksburg toward Baton Rouge and then eventually New Orleans. We are also building up. You can see here Benjamin Butler. He only has 1,200 men on hand, but he's eventually going to have 10,000. So between him and Pope's eventual 31,000, that ought to be enough to take out Louisiana. And we're going to continue to add troops to the Army of the Southwest so we can push through and take Arkansas. Let me know your thoughts. Use the comment section below. Drop a like if you would. Hopefully next episode you're going to see a big update to this game. Not sure how much it'll affect this campaign, but it'll definitely affect new campaigns moving forward. Thanks for watching.